into March for both these teams.
You gotta love March Madness. So here at the Don Haskell Center, here to watch two good teams play. They both trying to move up in those rankings to get ready for conference tournament play.
Both teams still have the potential of finishing second in the CUSA West as the Miners get an opening three from Jamal Bieniemy. It's a 3-0 start for UTEP, just the way that Joe Golding in his first season here leading the Miners drew it up.
Yeah, Bieniemy has been having a good year so far, especially stepping up here in conference play, giving Boone that extra score out there to go along with them. But, hey, they come back with Jackson with a three, and we know he can fill it up.
Quan Jackson averaging 12 points a game coming into this one, the senior out of Tallahassee, Florida. And an All-Conference USA defensive player a year ago for this Blazer team, but can also do it on the offensive end. Here's Verhoeven. Titus Verhoeven misses his first look of the night and the first miss of the game. So fast start for both teams. UAB can really fill it up, averaging 80 points a game this season, 13th best in the NCAA.
And one of the biggest men in conference play, too, as well, with their big man. So they got to try to keep him off the glass, and as soon as I said that, he tips it out. So that's something to really look at, see if they're going to be able to keep him off that glass.
An early offensive rebound. The Blazers have 13-plus offensive rebounds in 16 different games this year. Rebounding going to be a key in this one. UAB coming in second best in the conference in rebounding. UTEP 13th out of 14 teams. Here's a three from Sibley off the mark, and the rebound to Quan Jackson.
It's going to be a good matchup here watching Walker and Boone play against each other. I mean, both of them are two of the top scorers here, you know, in conference play. And we know Walker can fill it up. He had 42 points earlier in the season against Middle Tennessee, so we know he can fill it up.
Jackson's shot off the mark. Sule Boom leading the conference in scoring, averaging just under 20 points a game as UTEP turns it over. Trey Jemison with the steal. Jackson in transition gets it to go. And it's 5 points for Quan Jackson in the first couple of minutes of this one. And Joe Golding quickly going to his bench, calling for Alfred Hollins.
Yeah, that was a bad pass. You got to be able to handle that ball, no turnovers. Good pressure again.
Blazers force another one. Here's Ertl in transition.
Travel.
And he drags the foot, called for the travel. Joe Golding said UAB is the best team in the conference when they get out in transition. That was something that coming into tonight he wanted to avoid, was UAB getting in transition off those turnovers. Not the ideal start for UTEP in that category, but the benefactor of a travel there.
UAB showing a little pressure here, full court, man-to-man at the trap.
Alfred Hollins checks in for Jamari Sibley. Hollins, a transfer out of Oregon State. Bieniemy will try another three, a little bit short.
A little bit short. Here we go again, transition. Got to watch for that trail three.
Walker loses the handle, but it goes right to Jackson. And then Jackson loses the handle. Dive for the loose ball.
Both coaches got to love that, seeing both of their players dive on the floor. Good hustle by both teams.
And that's hustle coming from Alfred Hollins, who just checked in.
That's something that'll keep you on that court, too, as well, coming off the bench. Playing some good defense and hustling.
Well, they actually called a foul on Quan Jackson on that loose ball. So that'll be his first foul of the game for either team. UAB showing the full court pressure. Miners don't have much trouble breaking it. Bieniemy takes it himself and able to get it up and over the 7-footer Trey Jemison.
Nice. Got to watch these high pick and rolls. Watch big man roll into the basket. Good job. Way to pick it up.
Bieniemy with the steal. Behind the back with the left.
Oh.
He wanted a foul called, but nothing there. Walker on the other end. Little stutter step, and it looked like he confused his own man, KJ Buffin, and it's a turnover back to UTEP.
Yeah, I think he was expecting him to shoot the ball, especially getting that deep.
Christian Agnew will check in for the first time, so Joe Golding not shy in going right to his bench early on. Already a couple of substitutions with Christian Agnew and Alfred Hollins in the mix.
And Agnew brings that emotion to the game, too, as well. He always
wide open
hard.
for Verhoeven underneath,
nice
then
pass.
flushes it. The vision from Sule Boom. And the dunk for Titus Verhoeven.
Yeah, and that's tough, especially Boom coming off that high pick. He's such of a good shooter. Both players ended up trying to trap him. And he was able to get that assist for the dunk.
Boom got a piece of that pass. Here's Ertl.
Good defense.
Just eclipsed 2,000 points in his
Travel
career,
again.
averaging 19 points a game. Quan Jackson has already scored all 5 points for UAB, and much the same for the Miners, the backcourt of Bieniemy and Boom. Off to a good start in this one as well.
Yeah, like you were talking about, good pace for both teams. But surprisingly, something you picked up, UAB already has 5 turnovers in the first 5 minutes. Look like it might be another travel. 6 turnovers.
6 turnovers. Not even 5 minutes into this one. UAB comes into this averaging under 11 turnovers a game. And they're already more than halfway there, not even 5 minutes in.
And I know Coach Kennedy does not like that. Got to be able to protect the ball, especially on the road. That's one key thing you got to do.
Boom with an open look from 3. Off the mark. Buffin fighting for the rebound. Loose ball. Ertl hits the deck.
Good hustle.
And it looks like they're going to get a foul on UTEP.
Yeah, it might be on Agnew for reaching around the back.
Good hustle from the senior Michael Ertl. Mentioned earlier, scored his 2,000th career point on Thursday night in the win against UTSA. And he hurt the Miners in this first meeting between these two teams. Back on December 30th, Ertl had 25 points. There's a look at Andy Kennedy in his second season here as the UAB head coach. A UAB great back in his day. Second leading scorer in program history. But can't like the start so far. Although all things considered, despite the 6 turnovers, still only down 2.
And the coach also first in 3 points made too as well. He got over 318, so we know that coach used to be able to put it up back in the days.
Former coach at Ole Miss from 2006 to 2018, 2-time SEC Coach of the Year. Took a couple of years off after that, working in the broadcast world for ESPN and the SEC network before taking the UAB job.
Good way to be strong, way to attack him.
Verhoeven one-on-one against Trey Jemison. He gets the best of it, second bucket of the night for Titus Verhoeven.
And Verhoeven's going to do that because you're going to try to at least try to get him in some type of foul trouble, because having to push against that big body all day long can take the legs away from you.
Taven Lovin in for the first time for UAB.
Good defense.
Buffin against Hollins. Here's Lovin in the lane with the left. A little bit of a wild shot as the shot clock was down to 5. Scoring drought continues for UAB. Bieniemy, sidestep 3, a little bit short.
Sometimes you got to take that ball fake and just get that 17-footer in.
Walker will pull up and a little too strong. Joe Golding said the other day when I met with him, as soon as Jordan Walker crosses midcourt, he's a threat to shoot.
Yes, he is.
And you saw it right there.
Even though he missed that, it was a good miss. It looked online. Here's the matchup I want to see here.
Boom against Walker.
These two scores.
And he gets the floater over the 7-footer. What touch from Sule Boom. That's an example of why he is the Conference USA leading scorer. His first points of the night. He scored 20-plus in 8 of his last 11 games, averaging 22 a game in that stretch.
Yes, he has been in the zone. And
another
good
turnover
too as well. Too far.
But Hollins got caught in transition and threw it away. Gave it right back. Walker drives baseline, but blocked from behind from Verhoeven. Jackson underneath, can't get the bunny to go. Jemison, that won't fall. And the loose ball goes to UTEP, and there's a whistle. And it actually will stay with UAB. And that draws a big boo from the crowd. Kerry Sitton making that call, and that rather significant. It looked like that was, actually he got that right. That ball, once it hit Agnew's hip, it hit the line.
Bounds, yeah. Right.
So he got it right there. But there's some history there with Kerry Sitton. Many of you remembering, of course, in that Conference USA tournament game against FAU last year when he called Bryson Williams out on the baseline in a critical moment late in the game. And it was about a foot away from being on the baseline. And I think you heard a fan make a little side comment about that when we arrived.
As soon as he walked by, I guess we got to extend the baseline. And that's one of the loyal fans here, too, as well. Mr. Ed, owner of Capetto's, he's been sitting in that same chair from when I was playing, even before I was playing. Got to love those loyal fans.
But you got to give Sidden credit. He made the right call there. Ball stays with UAB.
Yes, it was.
But it is not forgotten history for UTEP fans here.
Stepped out of bounds.
Boy, this is not the ideal start for UAB.
Another turnover.
Still have not scored in more than 5 minutes. Another turnover. And they are now up to
more turnovers than points.
Turnovers.
More turnovers than points.
Can UTEP extend the lead, though? Still up only 6, despite those 8 early turnovers.
Right.
And for the first time on the floor, this is significant. Keontae Kennedy back out there for UTEP for the first time since December 22nd. We thought maybe there'd be a chance he'd see some playing time today. Been dealing with that foot injury as Christian Agnew gets the floater in the lane to go.
Nice way to attack that middle.
But Keontae Kennedy was having a really good year.
Yes, he was.
First couple of months of the season was one of UTEP's best players. He was third leading scorer and their leading rebounder before he had that foot injury in the game against Bradley, and was in a boot for much of January into February. Just got the boot off a couple weeks ago and getting back into practice and getting his first game minutes here in 2022 as Michael Ertl finally stops the drought for UAB.
See here, you got to get it to the middle somehow. Good ball movement. There it is. Attack the
Sibley.
middle. There it is. Once you get it to the middle of that zone, everybody has to seek in.
Miners push the lead back to 7 with the bucket by Sibley, his first points of the night.
Another.
Back underway here at the Don Haskins Center. Eric Elkin with former UTEP standout Leonard Owens. Miners with a 15-8 lead in the first 10 minutes of this first half. Sibley, corner 3. And he's off the mark. And the rebound to Justin Brown, in for the first time this evening.
Yeah, turnovers has been the key this first half. I mean, already 9 turnovers with only 8 points. We still got 10 minutes left. I'm sure during that timeout, Coach had to really preach that we have to be able to protect that ball, especially on the road.
Ertl will try a deep 3. That one's off the mark. Strong rebound from Verhoeven and heads up play, getting that ball to Bieniemy before he fell and got called for a travel.
Left side, you got to be able to use that left hand. Probably would have got an and one.
Andy Kennedy really going to his bench here after a bit of a sluggish start. That 3 ball too strong.
Agnew for 3. On mark.
Well, now both teams going a little bit cold. It's been a cold start throughout for UAB, just shooting 21% in the early going. Miners started 50%. That's dropped to 41 with a couple of misses.
Good defense. Can't help off of him. You cannot help.
And that's an open corner 3 for Ertl.
You cannot help on him.
His second triple of the night. He's got 6. Jackson, who's on the bench right now, has 5. That's the only scoring so far for UAB.
They can't just settle on a 3. I think this is on purpose. Good shot.
There's Kennedy's first basket since coming back from the injury. Again, he's been out since December 22nd. And that's got to be good for his confidence in the early going.
Yes. And one thing about it, he can play defense too as well. I think that's probably one of the biggest things UTEP was missing from him.
And he thought he drew the offensive foul there, but it'll go against Keontae Kennedy, his first. It's an interesting lineup right now for UAB. The only starter out there is Ertl. Everyone else is off the bench. Here's Lovin from the
good shot
free throw line, and he knocks it down.
Good shot.
Taven Lovin, the junior out of Franklin, Kentucky. had 14 points in 22 minutes against UTEP back on December 30th.
There we go, some good ball movement here. High pick. Let's see if he's gonna roll to the basket. There he is, he missed him.
Shot clock now down to 5. Boom drives it, loses
foul.
the handle, but the foul is called. And Sule is going. This UTEP team can beat a lot of teams.
Yes, they can. Really tough.
And Boom is one of the best free throw shooters in the conference as well. 87% coming into this one. He's been a good free throw shooter throughout his career.
Hopefully these free throws can get you going. Sometimes when you shoot it, that's all you need to see is that ball go in. So get to that free throw line to help you out.
And just over 12 minutes into this half, those are the first free throws of the entire game for either team. It's been fast-paced, not a lot of fouls called. A lot of turnovers for UAB, and that shot is short. Rebound to Verhoeven. Verhoeven thought about it.
Yeah.
Kicks it back out to Bieniemy. Boom having some trouble against Quan Jackson. And Jackson gets called for the foul. That's a big call there. Second personal with 7:28 left to play in the first half. Quan Jackson is an aggressive defensive player, one of the best in the conference. He leads the conference in steals with 68 of them. That's 5th best in all of college basketball. Joe Golden calls him the toughest player on the team.
And it shows.
But 2 fouls, and Andy Kennedy, at least for now, is going to leave him out there. And another foul. So after I just mentioned there haven't been a lot of foul calls, you get 2 in one possession.
2 in one possession.
That's the first for Trey Jemison.
See if they can get this high pick and roll going. Oh, it look like they're back in the zone. Little 1-3-1 zone.
And there are the active hands from Jackson. Even if he's not getting the steal, he's just disrupting the pass. Looks like Jackson will now come out.
The game, yeah.
Jordan Walker will check back in, who still does not have a point in this one. If you had said that he wouldn't have a point almost 13 minutes in, I think a lot of people would be surprised, and Joe Golding would certainly be pretty pleased.
Right.
KJ Buffin also checks back in.
Got to attack here. Attack him.
Verhoeven one-on-one against Jemison with the left, and it's a little strong. You know, Joe Golding would love to see Verhoeven draw the second foul against Jemison here in this first half.
Just got to go a little bit quicker once you get it down there on him.
Here's Buffin down low, and
one.
the foul.
That was a nice move. Buffin actually was their leading scorer last game too as well with 16 points, so we know he can score. So it's good to see him go down low, use that size and strength. Get a nice and one, go to the free throw line.
They called that one on Alfred Hollins, his first. Buffin to the line, a 78% free throw shooter.
Back with the pressure.
He's a transfer out of Ole Miss. He's got 7 double-doubles this year, coming in averaging 11.7 rebounds a game. And when he's playing well, he can really be an X factor for this UAB team. You know you're going to get what you're going to get out of Jordan Walker and Quan Jackson and Michael Ertl as well. When KJ Buffin's playing well, it makes them very dynamic.
Nice attack by Boom.
Speaking of dynamic, Sule Boom finding his way to the hoop. And Boom is now up to 6 points.
Yeah, and that just can't happen. He actually split the double team and got a layup. Somebody got to be able to stand in front of him. Offensive.
Lovin gets called for the offensive foul. That's his second. And another turnover.
What did that take it to? 10 or 11? They already at their average in turnovers here in the first half?
That is turnover number 10.
Wow.
They average 10.8 a game, not a half, a game.
A game.
And there's still 6 minutes left in this first half. Andy Kennedy pleading his case, but to no avail. And so Lovin with 2 fouls checks out as well. And another foul.
Another foul.
This one's going to go against Jordan Walker.
One more, they ain't 1-1.
That's just the first for Walker. Trying to trap Boom.
Yeah. Got to get it to that middle. There it is, right there. Travel.
Boom gets called for the travel.
You got to just shoot that. See what Coach drew up here. Looked like it's going to be something for Walker. Good defense. Can't leave him.
Kick back out to Ertl. Ertl's off the mark. Jemison with a strong offensive rebound and the putback. Second chance points. Something that UTEP wanted to eliminate. But the rebounding rearing its ugly head once again. UTEP being doubled up in the rebounding category. UAB leading 16-8. And 5 of those already on the offensive glass. The enemy with a step back on the baseline with the shot clock down to 2.
No, Walker's going to attack.
Pull up 3
Short.
from Walker. That's off the mark.
Another offensive rebound.
This time it doesn't hurt UTEP. Tony was in there trying to get the putback and just didn't quite get the roll.
Oh, that's the matchup you want, Boom.
Boom against Buffin.
And one.
He was hoping for a call. Offensive rebound of Verhoeven.
One more.
Verhoeven tries to spin on the baseline against Jemison, working him down low.
It's a big body. Way to find him. Good kick out.
Kick out to Hollins, and it's just off the mark.
Oh, good pick.
Walker lobs it up to Buffin, a little too strong.
Oh, you got to attack him. He's going to attack here. Yep.
Under 4 to play. Bieniemy drives into the lane.
Nice.
Over the 7-footer.
Way to attack. He's having a good first half here.
Bieniemy up to 7 points. Good scoring distribution so far for the Miners. Usually they rely on 2 or 3 guys, but it's been pretty well spread out. Here's Tony from the corner.
Nice corner 3.
That's just his 10th attempted 3-pointer all season.
Oh, wow.
But he's 5 of 10. Extra pass to the corner, and the response from Jarrell Satterfield. Satterfield had 15 points, 3 of 4 from 3 against UAB in the first meeting. He had some open looks, got one there, as the Blazers really tried to bottle up Bieniemy and Boom, and that gave Satterfield some looks. That's a good confidence sign early for UTEP for Satterfield. And a championship, just an incredible run. And forever cements UTEP in history.
Good rebound.
So Ranji Gordon goes 1 of 2. And the UTEP lead is 5 with just over 2 minutes to play here in this first half. Keontae Kennedy back out there, Jamari Sibley as well. Shot clock down to 5. Bieniemy sees it. Now down to 2.
Oh, way to split it.
Splits the double. And the offensive rebound and the putback jam from Zarek Onyema.
That was a nice offensive rebound there. Went back up strong.
Checking in for the first time and making his presence felt. The freshman out of San Antonio with a thunderous putback.
And that helps him with his confidence too as well. because UTEP really needs some helps with an extra big, and hopefully he can bring that energy for him this year. But
speaking of confidence, that might help Jordan Walker.
First
With
buckets.
1.5 to play, he gets his first points. Third best scorer in the conference.
One thing about shooters, they're going to keep shooting.
Comes into tonight averaging 19. Scored 20 plus in 9 of his last 11 games. Here's Boom with the answer. The top scorer in the conference with the response. And Sule Boom now up to 9 points. And pushes that lead back to 7, now under a minute to play here in the first half. Walker gets rejected by Onyema, who gives a stare down. How about the minute from Zarek Onyema? Offensive rebound, thunderous putback dunk, and then an even louder block of Jordan Walker. Looked like he was playing volleyball out there.
Yeah, it was volleyball smack. You can hear the air hitting the ball too. Let's see what Walker here gonna do.
Shot clock down to 5.
You know he was gonna pull up. Another
he loses
turnover.
the handle, and it's a turnover. Good defense from Keontae Kennedy. That is number 11 for the half for UAB, now above their average for a game in the turnover department. About a 10-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Miners not going to go 2 for 1 here.
Waste some of that clock, go in with a nice lead at the half.
Extra pass from Boom to Onyema, lost the handle, but there's a foul called. Well, Onyema was licking his chops for another putback dunk, or another dunk, I should say. And that foul was called on, I believe, KJ Buffin. So that's just his first. But it is a shooting foul, so it'll be 2 free throws for Onyema. Misses the first. He's only attempted 4 the entire season coming into tonight. And was 1 of 4, so now 1 of 5 on the season. He only averages 8 minutes a game, but he's started to get a little more playing time over the last couple of games to spell Verhoeven.
Too hard.
Off the mark, misses both. Shot clock turned off. UAB with a chance to take the last shot here. Try and get this down to less than 7. Which might be a win for them after the way this half has gone.
Yes, they have not played well at all. Started out the game doing well, but those turnovers has just came back to haunt them.
Walker will take it himself, and he's fouled hard. So he'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots. The foul is on Keontae Kennedy, his second. And Walker will go to the line, a very good free throw shooter, 88% on the year. Three-time Conference USA Player of the Week.
Gets the first one to go in.
And you mentioned earlier, Leonard, he scored 42 points in a game against Middle Tennessee earlier this month. And also had 36 in a game against La Tech
so
back
we know
in January.
He can shoot it, man. He is a scorer, natural scorer.
Makes both, gets it back to a 5-point game. Still 3.7 seconds left, so UTEP with a chance for a final shot here. Try to trap Kennedy.
That's a foul.
And there's a foul.
That's 1-1.
And that is not what UAB drew up, because the Miners were in the bonus.
1-1. That was not smart at all. You got to let him shoot that from half court. If it goes in, it goes in, reaching.
That was a facepalm moment for Andy Kennedy after that foul call. So now Kennedy will go to the line. He's a 63% shooter, so it's not his strength. And again, this is his first time back in game action since December 22nd. But what a gift this would be to give UTEP those 2 points right back if he can make both. It is a 1-1.
Nice. Way to step up and hit these free throws.
I've been really impressed with Keontae Kennedy's return so far. You weren't sure what you could get out of him. You can't imagine he's in game shape with all the time he's missed, and he's been in a walking boot. But he goes 2 for 2 and really giving a boost off the bench in this first half for UTEP. Final shot from Tate, and it's just off the end, too. Just underway here now in the second half with the Miners leading 34-27 inside the Don Haskins Center in El Paso, Texas. You're watching Conference USA basketball. Eric Elkin alongside Leonard Owens, former UTEP standout.
Back in the dime.
UTEP deflecting a ball out of bounds there, so no turnover.
See if UTEP could keep the crowd standing up for a while. But
Walker
you got to be able
misses,
to get that.
But Jemison with the offensive board and the putback.
Well, that didn't last too long.
8th offensive rebound of the game for UAB, and second chance points gets the lead down to 5. Sule Boom had 9 points in that first half. Doesn't get the roll, and the rebound to Quan Jackson.
Yeah, he shot that a little too soft. Good catch.
Go right back to Jemison.
Called a
and
foul
they call
first.
a foul on the floor. Called it on Jamari Sibley, his first personal. Fans were shouting for that travel call, didn't get it. And Sibley will quickly be checked out for Alfred Hollins, the only UTEP player so far to play who hasn't scored a point. UTEP has had 8 different players score, which is not something typical for this lineup. And no one in double figures yet.
It's the offensive foul. I couldn't see it.
Wait for the official call on that one.
Yeah, offensive foul.
They called it on Buffin. So that's another turnover, and that's the second personal foul on KJ Buffin.
It's too late. He missed them the first time on the road.
Bieniemy was looking for Verhoeven underneath. Just a little bit off in the communication there, and a turnover right back to UAB. UTEP only with 4 turnovers in that first half. That's their first of the second. Bounce pass down low to Jemison, and Jemison goes one-on-one and gets the better of that matchup.
So they look like that's something they talked about at halftime, getting big man going down low, especially knowing that UTEP is, short on bigs. I'm surprised that's something they didn't do in the first half and one.
Yeah,
he hit him in the face.
You knew something was a little bit off there. Boom reacted right away. The foul was on Jemison, so that's his second. Jemison has been the offense so far for UAB in the second half. Had 2 points in the first half, but already a couple of baskets here in the second. And that'll send Boom to the line for 2 free throws. He's 2 for 2 this evening. 87% free throw shooter.
That's big.
A rare miss from Sule Boom.
Really rare miss. But just like what we was talking about in the first half, as bad as they were playing, now look here in the second half, only down by 3 points, and Boom misses both free throws. You never see that happen.
So the lead stays at 3. Loose ball. Buffin gets it out to Walker. Fans wanted to travel. Walker will take the corner 3 and hits. And just like that, it ties the game at 34.
Got to get some ball movement.
Quan Jackson with the steal. One of the best in all of basketball when it comes to that. But missed opportunity in transition. Will have to set the offense.
Man, that was a big 3 in the corner.
UAB has only led for 58 seconds in this game. Poised to take a lead here. And it's a foul on Jamal Bieniemy. It'll be 3 shots for Jordan Walker.
And that's something that drives coaches crazy. Never foul. You don't want to foul a shooter, especially if they're shooting a 3-pointer. So now this is something that's going to get Walker going here. Back to the free throw line. Just hit a 3.
And Walker misses. Something in the water there at halftime. Sule Boom, 87% free throw shooter, went 0 for 2 a moment ago. Now Jordan Walker, an 88% free throw shooter, misses 1. He's got 2 more though. And he hits the second.
The second.
And there's the first lead since a few seconds into this game back in the first half for UAB. Keontae Kennedy checks back in for UTEP. Couple of substitutions.
Oh, he got blood on the knee.
KJ Buffin does. So Buffin will have to go to the corner just behind the backboard there. They're taping him up there. But it looks like Buffin will be able to stay in, just get the knee wrapped up.
Good eye there by the referee.
Jemison checks out, by the way, so Ranji Gordon is in there. And here's the third free throw from Jordan Walker. He goes 2 of 3, and it's now a 2-point lead for UAB. And it's a 9-0 run to start this second half, not even 3 minutes in for the Blazers.
Wow, quick 9-0 run.
And that's something they're so good at throughout this season, going on big runs, something that UTEP desperately wanted to avoid. And they stopped the bleeding there with a bucket from Alfred Hollins, the only UTEP player who hadn't scored.
Yeah, good footwork. Got a nice little up and under there. Got the defender in the air. Was able to get a layup with that left hand, tie the game up.
Here's Gordon. Nice find from Jordan Walker. And Ranji Gordon gets on the score sheet. He's played some pivotal minutes for the Blazers, with Josh LeBlanc being out with a knee injury since January 29th. He only averages 2 points a game, but he's really contributed, had 12-plus minutes in the last 6 games. 3 off the mark from Bieniemy. He hasn't been able to get it going. Just 3 of 10.
Watch that high pick and roll again.
Jackson with a wide open look. Way too strong.
Yeah.
And now the Miners will push it in transition. Boom, attacking Ertl. Kicks out to Kennedy.
Get in
and
there,
his
Kennedy.
floater's off the mark, but he gets the offensive rebound and the putback. Keontae Kennedy up to 7 points in his return to the lineup. First time since December 22nd.
And got him an extra rebound there.
Walker's foul, but you have to go all the way back to 2017. But the Miners do have a 7-3 record against the Blazers here inside the Don, trying to make it 8-3, but tied at 38 now. And Walker misses the 3, and the ball out of bounds goes to UTEP.
UAB is really hitting that offensive glass right now, so UTEP lucky there. Had Walker in the corner for another wide open 3. He just missed it short. But UAB guys are really attacking that glass.
Walker doesn't have his best stuff tonight, just 2 of 10. Here's Kennedy in the lane, and there's the whistle. I didn't hear it at first, but they did get the foul on Michael Ertl, his first personal. As I was mentioning a moment ago, Walker leads the game in scoring somehow with the 10 points, but he's only 2 of 10 from the field. He's got 4 of them from the free throw line. So even on a down night, he finds a way
to score,
to get on the score sheet. Kennedy now 3 for 3 from the free throw line tonight. There's his first miss. So it's a 1-point lead for UTEP, approaching 15 to play.
Good defense.
Buffin had it knocked away by Hollins. And another turnover. It's number 13 for UAB. Boom with a crossover, thought about it. Shot clock inside 10. Hollins from the baseline.
Hollins, way to be patient. He squared him up, gave him a little jab for separation, knocked down the 17-footer. That was a nice move by Hollins.
The transfer from Oregon State, who started 53 games and 96 games in the Pac-12. Straightaway 3 from Gordon, and Gordon knocks it down. That's his first three-pointer of the season.
Oh, wow.
He was 0 for 4 coming into tonight.
That was a big 3.
Tried to come up with a steal on the other end. Boom, into the lane, loses the handle. Last touch by UTEP off of his knee. So some important minutes there from Ranji Gordon. Gordon now up to 5 points, couple of rebounds. Just forced that turnover. And it keeps this game tied at 41. Christian Agnew checking back in, defensive specialist, matched up against Walker.
Good energy also as well. He can't get caught looking.
Walker will take the three and knocks it down.
Agnew got caught looking.
And he gives a stare down to the UTEP bench after he made that one. It's a 3-point lead for UAB.
That's one thing about Walker. He is not going to stop shooting the ball. He is a scorer. Giving UAB a 3-point cushion right now. Let's see if. Good pass.
Hollins kick out to Bieniemy in the corner. He wasn't set to shoot though. Shot clock now down to 6. Hollins is going to have to chuck up a 3. It's off the mark. It's a good defensive set there for UAB. Almost a backcourt violation, but Gordon just got on the other side. Gordon will try another 3. This one's off the mark. Sule Boom had checked out for a moment, but he's already back at the scorer's table.
Got him a quick breather.
He averages 37 minutes a game. Ertl also checks back to the scorer's table for UAB.
He'll shoot that.
Shot clock down inside 10. Agnew loses the dribble. Hollins with 4 and gets the jumper to go. Alfred Hollins heating up. He's up to 6 points. Joe Golding, emphatic on the sideline, clapping for his defense, trying to pick up the intensity.
Trying to get the crowd going also too as well. Get some energy here inside the building. Again.
Gordon will try another 3. Andy Kennedy did not like that shot.
No,
he didn't like the last one either, but that one you can kind of understand with a little bit of a heat check after hitting his first 3 of the season, but now back-to-back misses. Kennedy with an open 3 and way off the mark. Joe Golding gives a similar look to what Andy Kennedy just did after Ranji Gordon missed that 3. So a couple of back-to-back bad shots, one for each side. Walker will try his hand at 3 and knocks it down.
Man, he's a
this regular season here for both sides. UTEP has both games at home remaining against Rice and North Texas. So a tough finish to the season with 2 of the top teams in the conference. Bieniemy's 3 is well short. Way on the other end, all alone is Tony, but Bieniemy gets back and blocks him.
Nice block. Way not to give up on it after that bad shot. Back to another timeout, media timeout.
There's another timeout, so 11:22 left to play. Blazers by 4. UAB with one more road game left in the season after this one at Southern Miss before returning home to close it out against La Tech. A win here this evening would go a long way in securing that 2 seed in the West and the bye to the quarterfinals on Thursday as Jemison throws it down. And it is now a 6-point lead for UAB with approaching 11 minutes left to play. The Blazers have yet to sweep a road trip in conference play this season, trying to do so here tonight.
What a difference the first and second half has been here tonight. Seems like UTEP can't get it going right now. There we go, Boone to get it going.
That puts him in double figures, up to 11 points. And his first points of the second half, almost halfway through. Jordan Walker, the 3rd leading scorer on the other end, has done his part with 16 so far and driving here, but over the backboard, out of control. But you feel like UTEP kind of needs that response in the form of Sule Boom now, because it's kind of turning into that Jordan Walker versus Sule Boom matchup.
Right. So you got to be able to go and step up and for his team and help them to get closer. I mean, only 4 points here, still 10 minutes left. So one thing about UAB, they have not had the bad turnovers they had.
Sibley open from the corner, but that's off the mark.
So they're protecting that ball here in the second half, and it shows now. That's why they're up by 4, could be 7.
Brown's 3 is good. That's been the big difference here, especially in this comeback for UAB. It's the 3-point line. That is the 10th three-pointer of the game for UAB. Meanwhile, UTEP just 4 of 16.
Yeah, they're struggling against this little matchup zone here too as well. You got to kick it in and have the shooters move. Everybody's standing.
They call a foul against Jemison, no shot. So it's the 3rd personal on Jemison.
Yeah, in that zone, once they pass it down to the big man, those guards got to start moving and cutting. You can't just stand there. That makes the zone easier to guard. But they got to keep that ball moving also.
Almost didn't get it in time.
Right.
Boom against Ertl.
Good move.
Spins into the lane, and that's back-to-back buckets for Sule Boom. So now he's up to 13 points. And the crowd gets to its feet.
Yes, they've been itching all night to have something to stand up here about. Oh, don't leave him.
Lovin into the lane with the right. And UAB with an answer. Lead to 7.
There you go. Attack the middle of the zone and kick it out.
Boom, wide open, straightaway 3, and he hits.
Right.
Just like that, 7 points from Sule Boom. Gets it back to a 4-point game. And now the crowd gets even louder.
There you go. Got to watch this high pick and roll and watch Jemison cutting to the middle.
Ertl driving baseline.
Oh, he stepped out of bounds. Oh, he called
no,
the foul early.
They called a foul on the floor before he made that break to the basket. Let's take a look at the replay.
He fouled earlier.
On
he
the
grabbed
left hand.
Yeah, he grabbed him early.
So Sule gets called for his 2nd personal foul. Neither team near the bonus right now. 4 fouls apiece.
Nice play.
Walker
to
open,
the right.
but he misses this time. But the offensive rebound to Lovin.
Second chance shots.
Walker found Gordon underneath, but he couldn't handle it. Turnover to Boom. Boom in transition. Kicks out, corner 3, Bieniemy, and it's off the mark. Well, the crowd would have exploded if he hit that one. Instead, on the other end, UAB with an answer in the form of Justin Brown off the bench. Just hit a 3 a moment ago, gets a bucket there to push it back to 6.
Boom is attacking.
In the second half, Blazers with a 56-50 lead over UTEP. The foul before the whistle was on the floor, so just an inbounds. And the Miners turn it over. Sule Boom tried to get it right back, but it'll be last touched by him and stay with UAB. So that is turnover number 9 for UTEP.
That was a good trap there by UAB. I know they got to irk the coach coming out of a timeout and you turn over the ball, especially right now being down 6 with 7 minutes left.
I think they got a little adult beverage on the beers,
on the
ball. So they had to wipe that off, clean that up, and there's a casualty there in the form of a drink. UAB's done a great job taking care of the basketball in the second half after those 11 first half turnovers, only 3 so far here in the second half for a total of 14. And despite the 14 turnovers, UTEP only with 8 points off of them.
See what play they're going to draw up here. Probably try to get something with Walker coming off a pick, and there it is.
Steps inside the three-point line
and is feeling it.
Smooth as butter. Walker's up to 18. The average is 19.
Got to attack that zone, get to the middle. Short.
Satterfield. Hollins fighting for an offensive rebound, and they get a foul against Quan Jackson. That'll be his third. Hollins providing some good minutes here for UTEP.
Got to get a high pick and roll here. There we go. Good. Wait for the roll. Foul. There you go. Good job. Smart play.
Goes against Justin Brown.
That also helps them get into that 1-and-1 here with 7 minutes left. So
yeah, that puts them in the bonus, and you get your best free throw shooter to the line. Although Sule Boom, to the last trip to the free throw line, missed both.
So we know he's going to hit both of these.
One would think,
Ooh,
but there you go. He jinxed him.
Man.
Boy, that's three straight misses for Sule Boom. Now 2 for 5 on the night. And the Miners as a team only 5 for 10. And gets it back there. A loud clap and a let's go from Joe Golding. Blazers outscoring the Miners 31-17. There's a turnover.
Go gets fouled.
Boom in transition. Can't get the finish, but the offensive rebound and the putback from Hollins.
Hollins is having a good game.
Up to 8
really
points and his 5th rebound, and now the crowd gets to its feet.
Up.
UAB's lead down to 5. Brown will try the 3, too strong. Rebound out to Kennedy. He'll push it in transition. Boom asking for the 3, will take the 3. Sule Boom knocks it down.
Timeout, UAB.
Here for his tip-in game winner against Florida Atlantic here at the Don earlier this month.
Good defense.
And an offensive foul against Jordan Walker, his 3rd. The momentum continues to build for the Miners. UTEP can tie with a 2, take the lead with a 3. You have to imagine this is going to end up in Sule Boom's hands. He takes the 3, he's fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line, and they're going to call it a 2. So his foot was on the line. The official very quickly put 2 fingers up. Andy Kennedy is asking for that embellishment with the flail.
So the ref saying he got his arm before the kick out. Yeah, coach is asking Walker to move the ball a little bit. You could get that shot anytime, but you do got to move the ball, get the defense moving. Then the next time you get it back. Oh, boom, there we go.
Gets the roll there. That foul, by the way, was on Quan Jackson. That's number 4 for him.
Oh, that's key, so that's why they putting him.
They'll check him out and replace him with Michael Ertl. It's been a quiet night for Jackson, their best defensive player. And also their 2nd leading scorer, just 5 points tonight. So Boom can tie it here with a free throw. And he does. It's an 8-0 run in just over a minute. And with under 6 to play, tied at 58. Entire crowd on its feet. Boom laying on the deck.
Boom.
Trying to get the turnover. Bodies on the floor, and they're going to call a foul, I believe, against Sule Boom. But you can't knock the hustle. Crowd doesn't like it.
Good hustle by both players. That's how you dive on the floor. Everybody's getting on the floor.
It's only the 5th team foul. So UAB is not in the bonus.
And the Miners here, they're actually double bonus. So the next foul by UAB, the Miners will be in a double bonus. Oh, that's a foul,
and Boom's going to get called for another one. So all of a sudden, that's a cause for concern. That's 4 personal fouls on Souley Boom. And he also got banged up. Looked like maybe knee-to-knee contact. So a little bit of a limp, reaching down for that left leg. They're going to have to take Boom out, replace him with Jarrell Satterfield. So there goes your offense.
Yeah, so
he's
now
got
who's
22 points. So yeah, who's going to score for UTEP? And you wonder if Golding is going to have to hold him out at least until that next media timeout with those 4 personal fouls.
But yeah, I am curious to see where that offense is going to come from now. We probably should get Agnew put in to have another ball handler. Air
Walker
ball
from way downtown, and it's an air ball. Andy Kennedy just can't believe it. The shot clock was at 3, but that was from the U and the UTEP logo, and Kennedy is all fired up. He did not like that shot.
No. And he turned and told his coach shot clock, but it was still 3 seconds left. You could have got a closer shot.
So does the offense come from Keontae Kennedy, back in the lineup for the first time since December 22nd. His shot is off the mark. Kennedy's had a nice game so far, 8 points. But no one else in double figures for UTEP except Souley Boom, who's on the bench with 22. Lovin into the lane, loses the handle, last touch by UTEP. But the ref's letting him play there.
Letting him play. Looked like they both were standing straight up, yep. Oh, it looked like he
a little bit right at the end,
on the wrist. Got to get some ball movement here.
Shot clock down to 5. Ertl stuck in the corner, down to 3.
No ball movement.
Ertl, tough shot. That's an air ball.
Go. Why he stop?
In transition. Bieniemy, little Euro step, and UTEP takes the lead. It's a 10-0 run.
And that's on Ertl. He got mad because of that shot, and he just stood and let it become it could have been a 2-on-2. It ended up being a 2-on-1.
I think UAB thought they were going to call the shot clock violation.
Yeah, that's why everybody stopped.
But there was no whistle, and it benefited UTEP. Crowd on its feet. Look.
Good pass.
Walker into the lane. Buffin. UAB hasn't scored in 3 minutes and 43 seconds, but KJ Buffin can change that at the free throw line, and he does. Makes the first. Buffin is 3 of 4 from the line tonight. A 78% free throw shooter. And he goes 2 for 2 to tie this thing back up at 60.
2 big free throws there here on the road.
Souley Boom, by the way, still on the bench for UTEP, the leading scorer with 4 personal fouls. He's standing at the bench right now, but not in the game. Bieniemy, short. Alfred Hollins fighting for the offensive board, but it goes to Quan Jackson. And quickly, Boom checks in at the scorer's table, ready to come in at the next whistle. So Golding just trying to buy a few extra seconds there with that 4 personal fouls as Buffin knocks down the 3. And UAB back in front.
That is a big 3 minutes left.
You got a pair of players on the floor right now with 4 personal fouls, and they're 2 of the best. Quan Jackson for UAB and Souley Boom for UTEP, who leads the Miners with 22 points tonight, the only one in double figures. Under 3 minutes to play.
Little misdirection.
Boom
Smart
gets an
play.
open look from 3 to tie, and he knocks it down. So he checks back in, hits another one, continues his hot streak here in the last few minutes. He's got 25 tonight, but now has to be very careful on the defensive side of the ball with those 4 personal fouls.
Yes, UTEP could not miss him. Got to get that rebound. Smart.
Ertl tried to take advantage of the extra space he had with Souley playing a little bit off of him, but couldn't get the 3-pointer to go. Jackson playing aggressively with 4 fouls. Souley's trapped, and there's a foul. Thought Joe Golding for a moment there was going to call a timeout, but instead they get KJ Buffin called for the personal foul, and now that's the double bonus. So Souley Boom will go to the line for 2 free throws. Now he's missed 3 uncharacteristically here. But this is a chance for UTEP with just over 2 minutes to play to get some free points.
Yeah, 2 huge free throws to go up 2 right now. Still a lot of time here in the game, but it's always good to get that lead and hopefully can go down and get another stop.
Boom, 5 of 8 from the line. He misses another one.
Another one.
Boy, what is going on with Sule Boom? Now 5 of 9 from the free throw line. Again, he's an 87% free throw shooter. And he's been shooting it well tonight. 8 of 12 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3. Gets the second one to go, but that is 7 missed free throws as a team from UTEP. 4 of those coming from Sule Boom. Boy, would you want those points right now?
Yes.
Miners still with a 1-point lead despite that. Walker trying to change that. That one's off the mark, but the putback done from Quan Jackson puts UAB back in front, under 2 to play.
Everybody watching, you got to find a man and put a body on him.
Boom will drive into the double team, and it's last touch by UAB off of KJ Buffin.
Got lucky there. That was almost a turnover.
But you can just sense out there, Boom feels like he has to be the one who scores every time. You've got other capable scorers out there, but just with the way the game flow has gone, it's been Sule's show.
Yes.
But here's Bieniemy. He can change that. He's short. He's been short all night. Boom forces the turnover.
Got to find Boom.
That was dangerous. It could have been foul number 5. Instead, he gets the turnover, and there's a whistle. It looks like maybe they have to reset the shot clock. It was at 17. There's no way it could be at 17 after that turnover.
Yeah.
Keontae Kennedy was frustrated. He liked what they had. But they're going to reset it now to 27. Yeah. That should have been at 30, and there's no way that 13 seconds just elapsed there in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So 125 and counting. Bieniemy driving in the lane, loses the handle. It's last touch by UAB. Another fortunate result there for UTEP, because Bieniemy lost the handle there, and it looked like it was going to be another turnover. Bieniemy's just struggled over the last few minutes. He's only 4 of 14 from the field tonight, 1 of 6 from 3.
We don't have no legs underneath his shot. All of the shots have been short.
He's their second leading scorer, averaging 15, but he's had a rough go over the last couple of games. Kennedy uses the glass and puts the Miners back in front by 1.
Look like it's going to come down to who can get a stop. We keep going back and forth. You go up 1, I go up 1. Somebody got to step up and get a stop here if they want their team to get a win.
10 lead changes, and we may not be done there.
And another one.
Walker makes it 11, and the Blazers back in front by 1, less than 1 minute to go. Sule Boom gets doubled, and it's knocked out of bounds by UAB. Joe Golding, standing right next to the official, tried to call timeout, but it was after the ball was already tipped out of bounds.
Yeah, Sule got to be careful with going over there in that corner. It seemed like they keep getting a nice trap going on. But the other guys got to also see that. If he's been double teamed, somebody got to be open. You got to run and help Boom out.
Entire crowd on its feet. I don't think they'll be sitting down the rest of the night. Kennedy with an open 3. It looks good, but it's a little strong. It was on a good line from our angle.
Yeah, it looked real good.
But just off the heel of the rim. And now there's only a 5-second difference between the shot clock, 4-second difference.
You can't foul, Boom, because you got 4.
Miners not fouling yet, but they can't foul with Boom.
Nope.
4-second difference, and Hollins finally fouls, and Joe Golding doesn't like it. He didn't want him to do that.
Golden said no, but Boom told him to foul, so that's what threw him off.
Well, and he's the last person you would have wanted to foul. Jordan Walker, 88% free throw shooter, but at the same time, trying to extend the game. There's only that 4-second difference. Even if they get a shot up, and you factor in a loose ball, you may only have a second or 2 to get the ball close to midcourt for a heave.
Well, we've seen some crazy things happen tonight.
It is a 1-and-1, but Walker hits the front end to push it to a 2-point lead. But they're not going to make it easy for UTEP to get down the court, it looks like. Andy Kennedy shouting no foul.
Fouls.
Bieniemy to the other side. Under 10 to play. Hollins will take a
Short.
deep three, way short. And it goes out of bounds with 1.8 seconds left, and it looks like UAB is going to escape. Joe Golding did not like the result there. Not sure that's what they wanted drawn up. You wanted the ball in Sule Boom's hand.
Yes, you did. But, hey, that was a good defensive pressure also, too, as well. They made it real tough for Sule to even get the ball.
Walker gets the inbound pass, and UTEP can't even